Hello everyone. So today is the video number 5 for your SAS session, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you're watching all the previous video before this one. Okay, so again I welcome all of you. Okay, in this video we are going to talk about the PROC SQL in SAS. It's very important, which is one of the most powerful tool for data manipulation. So we'll start with select and where, and then we'll move to group by, and after that we'll cover the different type of joins finally, and we'll look at the union operations using SAS real data sets. So I'm going to use small data sets in this because we need to run the code, and on your screen you can see the free SAS University edition. So make sure you also go to Google and then you can log in into it, create your account and open the SAS free edition. So if you're preparing for interviews or working in real projects, this video is going to be super helpful for all of you. Now let's get started, and we'll talk a little bit about the theory and then we'll move to the questions. Programming. Okay. So first just assume that you're creating two data sets. One of them is customer and then you have a transaction. So let me do that and quickly make you understand how do we do that. Now let's say one data set is about customer, because we would be using SQL always have join and all. For that I need two tables. So one is my customer table, then I have my transaction table. In both the table my customer ID is common, so that is my primary key. Some of you who don't know what is primary key means that the variable or the column which basically helps to join both the different data sets. Now some of the ID will be common here. If you see, we have the name and the city of those people. Let's say Raj stays in Delhi, Amit stays in Mumbai, but here you have only C102. Who is C102? It's Amit, Mumbai. It's a small data, so you can understand all this, but in real world scenario you cannot see that because you have millions of observation. But we need to understand the concept, so for that I'm using this small data set. Okay, now how select and where will work here? So primarily you have like two data sets. Both of your data sets are in front of you. If I run this piece of code and then I just print them simply, that's what I'm doing at the moment. So if I run this, you will see two data sets. So it says that statement is not valid. So that means there is an error. Now I'll go back and we'll check what is the error. So I selected that line and it only ran that particular line. Okay. So make sure you don't select that. Let's quickly run the whole code now. Okay. So you can see you have one table, customer ID, name of the customer and the city of the customer. Then you have the customer ID and the amount, how much amount they have. Now to use the select and where, we will use this same code only, but let me use So PROC SQL has a syntax. So PROC SQL semicolon, then select customer ID and name only, or you can say star also if you want to select all the column. But I want to just see the customer ID and name. City I don't want to see. I want to apply one filter in that. So now you see the syntax again. PROC SQL select and the variable name, from means from which table, the name of the table. Then I'm giving a where condition, where city is equal to Delhi. In this small data, you can see two people are from Delhi, Raj and Sara. So the output should be what? You should know that, right? You should reply to me before I run this code. Raj and Sara. But when you have 1 million observation, you will see like thousands of people are part of your filter. So that's why you should know those filters. And then select basically helps you to pick up the column, and where is basically to filter the condition. Where works really fast. This is again a very interview question, very much asked, like what is the difference between if and where. So you should know that. In this session I cannot cover that because that will give a different context. It will create some confusion to all of you, but you should Google that before your next interview. What is the exact 5-6 differences between where and if? One, I will tell you that where works way faster compared to if, because where do not have a buffer, like input buffer at the back end. Where directly hits that particular observation and it picks up. So where is faster. Now let's talk about the grouping statement. So when you have a table. So sometime I want to group my table. What is the meaning of group? So let's calculate total transaction amount per customer, every customer wise. Okay. So what I'm doing from the transaction table itself, which I created, what I'm doing, select customer ID and then sum. It's an aggregate function, guys. Sum is aggregate function, sum of amount per customer. Okay. How many customers we have? 4. But in the transaction, you can see the repeated customers. 2 rows for Raj and then single row for Amit and then 1 row for Neha and 1 row for the person we don't know. Now it should give you the accumulative sum for whom? For Raj. Okay. Now let's go down, select this piece of code. Before I run this, let's cover the syntax quickly again, so all of you know that what we would be having as output. PROC SQL, syntax, comma, and then select all the name of the variable. Then you have the aggregate function. With aggregate function, it's mandatory to use the brackets, and the variable will go inside the brackets, and then from this table and then group by customer ID. So whatever variable you are putting in the aggregate function, the all other rest of those variable other than that variable will go in the group by. Simple. Now it will group by the customer ID and it will give you total. So for 101, 300, 102, 300, 103, 150. So let's validate for 101. How it's 300? How? Because 101 have 100 and 200. So this is equal to 300. Okay. Okay. Jokes apart. So now you can see the results and it pretty much align with what we were expecting. So group by basically creates the group of your data and sum is basically calculating the total. And there are some other functions also, like this is sum, right? Sum is one of them. Then you have average, not AVG. So if I run this, it will give you the average of every customer spent. Now you can see the average for the first one is 150. When I took the sum, it was how much? It was 300. So that's the difference between sum and average, right? So, okay. Now let's move on to something more interesting, more fun, that is your joins. So inner join, basically, we'll start with the inner join, right? So what inner join is? Inner join basically returns only the matching variables in the two tables, only the matching one. So to understand that, let's see a code. Make sure all of you download these codes from the description box. There would be my GitHub link. Okay. So now how the inner join is functioning here. PROC SQL selecting the variable. So I am using one table as a table A, one table as a table B. So first of all, customer table I am calling as A, alias name. So inner join transaction as B. So you see at this. From customer table as A, customer table will be called A, inner join, apply inner join on table B. Now what I will do, select A dot customer ID. From the A table I need customer ID and name, and from B I need the amount, and there is this condition, that is your join condition. You are joining two table on the basis of what? If you don't have any common link, how you will join? You and your brother. Okay. What is the common link? Your parents. Okay. So just like this, you have this customer ID. So you might have seen, right, that if you're driving a Royal Enfield, if you meet another person who's driving the Royal Enfield, so they start talking, how's this, how's that, this, that. Simple example. So Royal Enfield is the primary key between two people. Doesn't matter what is their religion, what is their ethnicity. If they will meet somewhere, they will talk. How's average, how's this, that, and all. So similarly, this customer ID is your Royal Enfield here, and then you have the two tables. So now if I run this piece of code, so it will give me only the common observations. You can see, but one thing is a bit tricky. You can see that Raj is coming as a duplicate, but that's the problem. Okay. only common customer IDs are populated 101, 2 and 3. Total how many customer IDs we have? You see here. We have 105 also, but 105 has not come because it's not common. So only the common one, 101, 102, 103. Even you cannot see 104, 105, both. I hope this is clear. Now let's talk about the most used join in this world. All companies are using that. That is your left join. So in left join, how things works? Left join basically returns all the records from your left table and match with the right table. All the records from the left table and the matching from the right table. Okay. Now you see here PROC SQL syntax. You might have remembered this by now. Yeah. Then you have like select a dot customer ID. From A table I am taking customer ID and name again, and then from B I am taking the amount, just like this one. I'm just writing the same code again, just replacing this inner join with the left join. Now let me run this left join. You can see the difference. What's the difference? All the value from the left table are here. What is the left table? It's your customer table. So in customer 101, 102, 103, all of that data is here. For 104, they don't have any data in the second table. You can see, right? So that's why the second table is coming as dot. So it's a numeric value. Numeric value is denoted as a dot. Now this is all about the left join. So basically all customers are shown from the left table and missing transaction are shown as blank. That is again very much understood. So it's easy. Now in the similar case, if I put a right join, what you can guess that what will be the output, guys? Many of you are very smart. You by now would have guessed that what would be the output here. Can you see? All the data from the right table 200, 100, 300, 150, 500. See. Which one is your right table? Transaction. This one. But can you see that C105 has not come there? Why? Because I am not selecting the customer ID from table B. Okay, that's the catch here. If you select the customer ID from table B, then you will see the 105 also in the output. Okay, now let's talk about a full join. You want everything to be messy. You want everything to come in a single group. Just use this syntax of full join. It will give you all the garbage you have in all your area. That's what you can see here. Okay. Again, if you want to do one more thing, let's say you are picking the customer ID only from A table, but I want the garbage from all the vertical. So what I'll do, I will pull the customer ID from B as well. Then make sure you give a comma. Now let's run this piece of code. Can you see? There are two customer ID, duplicate customer ID. Okay. So that's why you should be very careful when you're using joins and everything. It will give you so much of complexity. Now let's run all the 4 joins together. Let's see how the output looks like. Now in the case of inner join, you can see this is the output. In the case of the left join, you can see all the values from left table are here, and in the case of right join, you can see all the value from the right table are here, and in the full join, you can see all the common values which are here and there. Like every value, not the common value, are there in your output. So that's how this whole join thing functions. Now let's talk about a bit about union. Union is an operator. Union is not considered as a join thing, okay, but it's very important, so you should know that. How we write the union? So what I'm doing, I'm just creating a customer new input. What? Inputting 2 values only. Just forget whatever we have done as of now. So you can see in input customer ID and then name and then city, all of them are characters. So that's why I'm using this dollar symbol there. And then PROC SQL select star from customer table. Where's the customer table? On the top. Okay. Which one is the customer table? This one. So this is the data. In customer table, you have customer ID, name and city. customer ID, name and city, and then I'm putting a union. What union have? Customer ID, name, city. So what should be the output? So 2 observation here and 4 observation there. Now run this. All the observations. Okay. So 101 to 106 and everything is properly defined. So that's how sometime you can use simple union keyword between 2 queries. Okay. And then you can run your code. So this basically combines the data set, and it's very important, and to remove the duplicate. If you don't want to remove the duplicate, you can use union all. Union by default removes the duplicate. This is again a very interview specific question. So let's quickly recap. Select is used to choose columns. Where is used to filter the rows. Group by is used to aggregate. Joins are used to combine the table in different shapes and form. And union is to stack the data set. These are the must known concepts for every interview and real time project. On that note, if you found this video very helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and you will see next session is going to be super helpful. Again, I would say that if you want to download this particular code, you will see the link in the description box. Make sure you pull up this whole code for your own self and execute and practice. All the best. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video. All the best.